was founded after 9/11 because they recognized that some people did something and that all of us were starting to lose access to our civil liberties.
Some people did something, said a freshman congresswoman from Minnesota, to support and justify the creation of CARE. Today I am here to respond to you exactly who did what to whom.
Let me say this loud and clear. When a sitting member of Congress reduces one of America's darkest days to "some people did something," that's not a mistake. That's disrespect at the highest level. Thousands of innocent Americans were murdered. Fathers, mothers, children. And yet, a U.S. lawmaker spoke as if it were some casual event. Today, we're calling it out. No sugarcoating, no excuses. Ilhan Omar's words were a slap in the face to every American who still remembers the smoke, the screams, and the sacrifice of 9/11. Before we go deep into this fiery hearing, click that subscribe button, because the truth deserves a louder voice.
On that day, 19 Islamic terrorist members of Al-Qaeda killed over 3,000 people and caused billions of dollars of economic damage. Is that clear? I was attacked. Your relatives and friends were attacked. Our constitutional freedoms were attacked. And our nation's founding on Judeo-Christian principles were attacked. That's what some people did. Got that now? We are here today, Congresswoman, to tell you and the squad just who did what to whom. Show respect in honoring them, please. American patriotism in your position demand it.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We've heard from my colleagues the reasons why the Representative Omar should be removed from this committee, but I feel like all the reasons have not just yet been stated, which is why I rise to add for the record. We've heard about the comments that were made regarding anti-Semitism and anti-Israeli views, but I rise to add to the record that as a member of the Foreign Affairs Committee, I've sat there and heard the representative actually spew anti-American rhetoric as well. I've been in that committee room where the representative equates Israel and the United States to Hamas and the Taliban. Absolutely unacceptable for a member of that committee. I've also heard the representative equate that it is the United States' fault that there is turmoil in Venezuela, that is not because of the oppressive socialist and communism that has spread throughout Central and South America, in Venezuela at the hands of the Maduro and Hugo Chavez regimes. That is unacceptable. And as a New York representative, to hear the representative belittle, to try to diminish the worst terrorist attack on United States soil on September 11, 2001, as some people did something, that is unacceptable as well. And I hold the same standard for this side of the aisle that I do the other, because when another colleague on my side said something about 9/11, I also voted to have her removed from the Education Committee.
Imagine hearing a member of Congress say, "Some people did something about a terrorist attack that killed nearly 3,000 Americans." That wasn't just poor wording. That was a shocking attempt to downplay evil. Those some people were 19 radical Islamic terrorists who hijacked planes and turned them into weapons. They didn't just do something. They butchered Americans, destroyed families, and brought this nation to its knees. For anyone in Congress to blur that truth is unforgivable. Segment 2, the outrage erupts in Congress. When those words resurfaced, patriotic lawmakers didn't hold back. They stood tall on the House floor and said exactly what millions of Americans were thinking. How dare you minimize our pain? One representative, her voice trembling with anger, said, "Madam, we know exactly who did what to whom. There is no confusion. It was 19 terrorists, not some people." That chamber erupted. Republicans demanded respect for the victims. They reminded everyone that freedom was attacked, our people were attacked, and our values were attacked. This wasn't about politics. It was about honor, something Ilhan Omar's words completely ignored. But it didn't stop there. This wasn't a one-time slip. Omar has compared the United States and Israel, two of the world's strongest democracies, to Hamas and the Taliban. Let that sink in. She's equating the very nations fighting terrorism with the terrorists themselves. She's blamed America for Venezuela's collapse. Not socialism, not corruption, not tyranny, but America. That's not criticism. That's anti-American propaganda coming from someone sitting in the halls of Congress. And members had enough. They said, if you despise this country so much, you shouldn't represent it on the Foreign Affairs Committee. When the vote came, the tension was electric. Republicans rose one after another, their voices echoing with righteous fury. You dishonor every first responder who ran into those burning towers. You insult every soldier who fought to defend this nation after that day. You do not deserve a seat on a committee that represents America's values abroad. And then, the final blow. The vote passed. Ilhan Omar was removed from the Foreign Affairs Committee. The chamber exploded in applause from those who believed justice had been done. This wasn't revenge. It was accountability. It was America standing up and saying, we will never forget. This hearing wasn't just about one congresswoman. It was about a message, a fiery, unyielding message. You cannot disrespect this country and still expect to speak for it. You cannot minimize terrorism and claim to defend freedom. And you cannot sit in silence when our nation's values are being mocked from within, the very government meant to protect them. The removal of Ilhan Omar was a victory for truth, for patriotism, and for every American who still feels the pain of that tragic day. Because let's face it, some people did something? No. Terrorists murdered our people. And when leaders forget that, the people will remind them, with power, with pride, and with unshakable resolve. If you believe America should always stand strong against disrespect, smash that subscribe button, share this video, and let's keep exposing the truth, because silence helps no one, and patriotism will always have the final word.